Well, welcome to the Nth Degree. Welcome, Donna.
Hi, Bralynn.
This is so good. I love these conversations with you. I almost can't wait until, Tuesday maybe to record Nth Degree, because we're always talking and
Yeah.
as usual, it's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this is good. Let's turn the recording on." So
Yes. Well, welcome to our audience. We are recording this in 2023. And you are as usual, as per usual, you are
that's right.
in the middle of our conversation here. We welcome you and welcome your comments as well. Bralynn and I are talking about, our topic today is longevity. And we've just been chit-chatting about where we've come from, where we are, where we're going, where we want to go. And I thought there's some principles here that somebody needs to hear. So we just decided to turn on the recording and let you join us. Welcome.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that setup. So yeah, I've just had, I've been pressing into mind controlling or manifesting matter, which is, our mind over matter, mind controlling our body, controlling our environment, attracting things by stepping into the quantum realm. I've been doing that for a while, but I just have picked up my baton again. I've gone around this loop.
Good way to say that. Mm-hmm.
Right. So I've been on this relay race for a bit, but I picked up the baton again for the health and the fitness level and understanding regenerative medicine. And you and I have been pressing into this for a little bit, but what has come to me in my 2023 destiny mapping in the last few weeks is really that if we're to make a legacy or have a legacy in our business and in our life, we need longevity. There's no way that we want, and I don't just mean lifespan, because who wants to be 100 years old sitting in a wheelchair drooling? No one, right? We want to have a health span as long as our lifespan. And so therefore, the longevity includes taking care of yourself, from the new technologies that are out there to just the basics of exercise, water, sleep,
Mm-hmm.
So I threw that out there to Donna, and she said,
What did I say?
I don't know.
We were talking about, here's what we turned it on. We were talking about this topic of, are people self-aware?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I think that I was commenting that people are self-aware probably on a percentage degree based on some things that are going on in their life and where they are in their lifespan journey, where they are number of days on the planet, where they are in what generation God parked them, but also in where they're willing to recognize that some of these self-aware moments or lack of are spiritual.
Yes, that's it.
And they are spiritual. So there's a lot of contributors to that, and what's on your plate and what's simmering on your back burner. I call them marbles that roll around in my mind. And I've been using that phrase for a long time because I'll have several marbles at a time that are rolling around in my mind. And what I'm waiting for them to, fall in the little spot that they fit in the little cup, right? And then when it clinks in, I usually am like, oh yeah, right there, that. And what happens to me is I try to be self-aware about certain topics, but our topic today is health, longevity, and measuring yourself, not against someone else, but against your lifespan, your health lifespan. And you said an amazing thing, Bralynn. You said that you started planning to be, what'd you say? At 30, you started planning for 70.
Right. Because at the time I've been on a health journey for a long time. It's been part of my life for a long time. And so at the time, the people, the instructor that I was working out with, or whoever was, that was her thing. And she always said, if you can't do that now, how are you going to be at 70? You need to plan,
You need to plan.
And
look at that forward looking thought. Oh,
right.
love it. And especially when it comes to health, you have to look at your now in order to your plan for your future, for your 70s.
Yeah, it's not something you can do once and say, oh yeah, I worked out,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden I worked out yesterday becomes I worked out last week, becomes I worked out last month to last year to, you know what I mean? It's you just can't do that. Now, I ran a triathlon and I did an Ironman swim. That kind of stuff, I can say I did it. I'm done. I don't need to do that again.
That's amazing. You're a very movement oriented, sports oriented person. That was not part of my training growing up. That was not part, that was just not on the plate when I was doing stuff. However, I was in the marching band.
And, all right. Yeah. I'm not that coordinated to play an instrument and walk.
And loved being in the marching band because it made you, you had to get outside. You can't march inside, right? Unless there's a dome. But back in the day, high school, growing up I graduated from high school in 1979. So it's been a while. It's been a minute.
And what did you play? What instrument?
Alto saxophone.
Oh, I wanted to play saxophone all of my life. Oh, girlfriend. Oh,
that's funny because I wanted to play flute.
Oh my gosh, no. Okay. I always wanted saxophone.
We digress. But anyway, circling back to what are you doing in your now that maybe wasn't, I say all that because it wasn't part of my package when I was growing up. I had to get to be an adult and go, okay, I am an adult. I am going to wake myself up because, and especially in today's era, when we have so many resources so readily available on our little pocket computer here, that why aren't we plugging into some of these things? And so as that has become more readily available, I ask other people, I ask my kids, what are you watching online that or on video, on screen, on a device? What are you listening to on a device in a health thing? And my son shared some stuff and I'm like, oh, this is so great. I would never have found this. And Bralynn, you've shared some things and other people have too. So just beginning to think in terms of longevity equals legacy. What legacy? I don't want my grandkids to see me not able to do some things.
Right. Not only that in your life, but you also want to, you see the old couple strolling along the beach hand in hand and you're like, wow, that, when you're young, you think, oh, that's so cute. But when you're a little bit older, you think, wow, that's kind of rare, because usually one of them will be sitting in the armchair because he really can't get out or she, whatever. Right. Or they'll even be in wheelchairs, or
it's not that we don't have empathy and sympathy for people that are
absolutely
bound by infirmity.
Not what we're talking about.
We come from a different mindset that says that infirmity can be put under the blood of Jesus.
That's true too. If it's already happened, you can reverse it. Absolutely. And it's a mindset and it's a choice. It's a lifestyle choice.
Now, this thing about choice, oh boy, there's a deep rabbit hole because and we've all been there, right? I can choose to eat 3 desserts. I can choose to, and I have, right? I can choose to bomb out with popcorn in front of the movie, in front of the screen. Yeah. Until you begin to realize there are some things that that are uniquely not going to raise my frequency. And when I started putting health in terms of frequency, it changed everything for me. And this is pretty recent, but I began to incorporate the sunshine. Sunshine is a frequency and my body needs sunshine. And there's a whole industry out there telling me, don't go out in the sun. Well, hello, Yahweh put the sun up there. Right. If I'm wise about it.
We're literally, our DNA is tied to the sun. We have systems in our body that only react and act properly with the sun. And I'm thinking right now about circadian rhythms.
Yeah.
If we can get outside and in the morning and have the sun at the eastern side at that horizon, it does something. It literally hitting our eyes. Even if you're blind, this is so crazy, but even hitting our eyes for 30 seconds or a minute, not through a window, but literally outside, it sets your circadian rhythm and you'll sleep better.
Right.
So it's like, who doesn't want to take 30 seconds to just walk outside in the morning and get that done, come back in and sleep better? You know what I mean?
And some of this, if you are asking God to make you self-aware, cause you to walk with wisdom and counsel, his spirit dwells richly within us. And you have some thoughts that about what Bralynn just said that you've had before, that no science person or no PhD needed to prove to you. You just knew it.
Yeah.
Like my husband laughs at me because when the sun starts going down so early in the winter, he says I complain about it, and then I'll turn right around and be happy about it. And he goes, you don't make any sense. When it starts happening, I'm like, oh, our days are getting so short. But then when it is, late December, January to February, I'm like, oh, I love these short days. And he's like, what? You were complaining about it. And it's just because I like to be in the moment. I like to be making the most of what the now is. So what is the now for short days? Oh, for me, it's getting cozy and comfortable. It's sleeping longer. I sleep longer in the winter. I allow myself to. And I do things that are much more less active. But then when the days get longer, then I lengthen the amount of activity I have in a day. And no one told me to do that. That's just Donna, kind of like, duh, being Donna, like, oh, I find that this is happening.
There's a lot of science behind what happens to our bodies when they change the time, either forward or back.
The time zone change. Yeah, the daylight savings.
Right. And obviously
they've done
studies with jet lag as well, traveling through time zones and that kind of stuff. And there's detrimental things that happen to our body when this happens. Heart attacks happen, car accidents. There's just the statistics are almost like the full moon statistics, like, oh my gosh, something literally happens to us.
And when you think about this biblically, we are created from the clay and the mud of a physical ground Yahweh made for us.
Right.
So our flesh body that is our container is going to need some care, in just as we are told to care for the earth and care about what happens to it. When I first learned about grounding, oh my gosh, that was 4 or 5 years ago, but still I thought, this is so cool. Of course I need to go put the bottom of my feet on the earth. And then I was like, that's just not any earth. I need to find the earth I need. And it just, anyway, we could go on.
I just did that this morning. I'm getting to the point where it's warm enough outside. It's still cold and it's still chilly, but I decided not to put my socks on. I'm just going to go start my coffee, go outside, just walk around in my bare feet, and then wipe my feet off and put my socks on. So it's like, it's a process, and it's something you have to build into your daily routine. I get it. But some people don't even know about it. Or they don't. I have a pillowcase that has grounding in it. It's literally plugged into the ground.
Right. I've heard about those. Those are cool.
Yeah.
And
I have a mat for under my computer and my stuff, so that I'm grounded, and it's plugged into the ground, into the outlet.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that all of the EMFs that are coming off of the equipment and everything is taken care of by the mat and not going into me.
I'm gonna have to talk to you about that, because I've been looking.
No, I've been doing these kind of weird things, because when in California where I lived, there was so much EMF right by my bed, right like by the head of my bed is where the internet, the Wi-Fi came in, and then that was the place I had to plug in my phone at night. Now I don't have any electronics in my bedroom whatsoever. I don't even have my phone in it. nothing.
Yeah.
So now I don't really have the reason like I had before for the pillow, but I still use it.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember when I learned to not plug my phone in next to my nightstand, and I put it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I have since moved it back to my nightstand. So this is a ping for me. I need to put it back in the bathroom, plug it in there, because that's where I'll go first thing in the morning. And also,
okay, so I want to talk about that because you shouldn't look at your screen first thing in the morning.
I'm so with you. I'm so with you. You should not look at your screen first thing in the morning. I'm so with you on. And I try to, but okay, let's talk about the spiritual stuff. Your body. Do you guys? Okay, so on the days when I'll give you an example. Over the holiday, Christmas, there was one day where I left my phone plugged in and I didn't look at it until noon. And I want to tell you that my physical body had a hunger. It was demanding that I go pick up that phone.
Oh, wow. See, I totally ignore my phone. People are mad at me because I don't respond to texts or like, I'll get
and to it. I wasn't on my computer either. I was doing other things around the house and all that. Yeah. But I was aware, going back to self-awareness, I was aware, I wonder what part of me thinks I need to go pick up that phone. Okay. And it was a great internal dialogue. I hope you guys are having internal dialogues, and an internal marble where I'm asking the Lord, where's this marble going to go? And so your flesh body is used to your devices. Okay.
They literally build them like that to be addicted.
Yes. And you get dopamine strokes from stroking your phone. It just, I mean, people, we got to be self-aware and pay attention. Okay. Right. So it could be that.
Donna, you're awesome.
It could be that. Then it could be soul realm. Okay. So what would a soul realm attachment? It's a soul tie. What's it a soul tie to? A fake relationship. Oh, let that settle. A fake relationship. Okay. It could be a soul tie to a real relationship, because all those texts that you're supposedly missing that people are pinging you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It could, do you see the anxiety and the worry though that comes from the soul realm in that? I might be missing a text. Somebody might have called me.
I can see if you had the mindset that you, it's a leash, where some people do, like, if I text someone and they wait, like I don't hear back for a couple hours, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't text you. I'm like, well, I didn't expect you to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a leash to me on my end.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's true, the work world and the business world and the Babylon system, let's call it what it is. Yeah. It's built on all that. This is what's fomenting that. It's in your atmosphere. Okay, but being self-aware, because you're a child of God and you are leashed to the Savior and you have a relationship, it's like a fast. So I begin to tell my body, you could be fine. We're having a fast from the phone today. Yeah. And my body's like, no, I don't want that. And I'm like, sorry, spirit man here.
How are you determining that it's your body and not your soul?
Tell
me what you're physically feeling that makes it, it's your body, just for our listeners. So
no, I was really intrigued with that question and that thought. And I was like, I wonder what it is. Is it just the memory, what do they call that? The muscle memory of having my phone in my hand. I usually carry it in my left hand, or I put it in my right pocket. And I wonder if my body is screaming at me, wait, we always do this. Why are we not doing this today? Do you see how the body speaks? I was also that stroke thing on your phone. I'm telling you, people, there's something to this. We gotta be aware.
That's why I have a device with a little.
It's a great idea. That's a great idea. Okay. So I never hold my phone up to my ear.
No, I don't either. Good.
Yeah, I always pick on speakerphone. Okay, so your body is speaking to you about your daily stuff. Bodies do speak all the time. We're just not learning how to pay attention, perhaps. But as you become self-aware, the other thing I noticed was this. This is pretty funny. My body was doing this casting a glance on all flat surfaces, where's my phone?
Wow.
And I was like, wait, I know where my phone is. It's plugged into the bathroom. Why do I have to get what? And see, that's that muscle memory. Oh my gosh. So then, have you ever noticed your muscle memory causes a persona to happen when you sit down in front of your computer?
I guess I hadn't. How to think about
that. Things we have to think about, right?
Yeah.
So
tell me more about that.
Okay. Here's how I noticed it. When I moved houses recently, in October, we moved to this new house, and I put my desk in here, my computer in here, my screen in here, all that. And about 2 weeks later, I would come in here and I'd do my stuff, and but I became aware that not a mask, but a persona, a certain way of presenting oneself would happen when I sit down on my desk without my computer even being on.
Well, that's actually good, though. I think that there's environmental cues that prep us for the activity that the space requires. Because I would not want to, this is one of the reasons why I tell entrepreneurs, do not do business in bed.
Oh, totally.
Not. That is your sleeping place, that's your intimate place. You should not be doing the things that where you need to be awake and cognitive and thinking and precise and all of that stuff. Don't associate that with bed. So I actually agree that we get a little bit more clarity, we get a little bit more focus, we get a little bit more precise when we're sitting in front of our computer, because we've trained ourselves. This is the time to focus. We're not going to let distractions happen. We're not going to focus on laundry. We're not, especially doing work from home, right? So I totally agree that in that instance, I do agree that it's a good thing.
Yeah. So all you've done is listed all the positives, and it's true. You sit up straighter. Mm-hmm. You're a little more focused. You're on your daily. You may not be focused on self as much. You're focused on what you are accomplishing when you're sitting in front of your device to do something like that.
Right.
But I noticed the negative.
Okay.
So I noticed I couldn't sit at this computer with the computer off and write a letter, a thank you letter.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, why not? Like, I could, okay, hello, people.
Yeah, right. But
but it wasn't easy. And I'm like, but yet I could go in the other room, sit in the chair in there and write it. And I was like, oh, wow, I wonder what that's all about.
But though the chair is your creativity and your caring and your relationship place.
I have a couch right here. I have I call it my red couch.
I've seen the red couch. Yeah.
I love it. And my red couch is my place. You ask my family, they even know. In fact, when we moved everything to this new house, I said, I want my red couch in my office. Everybody's like, oh, of course you do. So it used to be in the living room. We had 2 living rooms. So anyway, so here it is. And somebody told me the other day, I was on a Zoom call with them, but I wasn't sitting here at my desk. I was sitting on my red couch, and I had turned everything around. And the comment was, you are so relaxed.
Yeah.
I thought it's because I'm on my red couch. But yeah, you have a sweet spot.
You do. So you train yourself to do the thing that area is called to do.
Yes. And it's true. When I get on this Zoom call at this desk, I'm thinking in terms of education. How do I educate the bride of Christ with some revelation and some dots that the Lord has helped me with? I want to make a point of sharing. So I'm thinking about, how do I share this concisely and precisely and with love and compassion to the person who's jumping into this area? Mm-hmm. Bralynn and I do coaching right here. So another empathy has to come up when you do that coaching. And so I'm a lot more other focused when I sit in this chair versus when I sit on my couch. I'm much more inward focused, or I'm really focused on what's Holy Spirit saying. What I'm usually reading a book right there. Mm-hmm. And what is the Lord saying about the content that I'm reading? That kind of thing.
I'm so glad you brought this up, and especially in relation to longevity and legacy, because I have I've recently, I only take naps. I have 2 couches. I only take naps on the one, and the other one is for meditation because I don't want to fall asleep during my meditation. So I never sleep there.
Oh, that's a perfect example of how to use muscle memory for good, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And the reason that I take a nap on the couch instead of bed is because I don't want to sleep all night. I want to, I
Right.
want to have downtime for my body, or and sometimes I don't go all the way to sleep. It's just a really down theta level kind of, just to recharge batteries and then get back up again. I'm not settling in for the night. I'm not, all of this stuff. So anyway, that's why I do that. But as far as longevity and legacy, you have to set your environment up for success. So when things are cluttered and you've got laundry all over the living room, or you've got, stuff, I don't live like that. So I can't even make, I don't even know.
But let me go off on that. Let me just go off on that. So setting your environment for success. Oh, gosh, it's such a big topic. And I think it's because we are frequency beings. So the color of paint on the walls or the carpet or the furniture, the color of paint, what type of things do you have hanging on the walls? Makes a big difference. Go in different rooms of your house. Where do you feel more creative, more meditative, more restful, and use those things for purposes. But here's a cool thing I've recently jumped into, and I just, when you get excited about a topic,
I bet we're about to say the same thing. So go ahead.
I've gotten the part of me that I'm investigating now is, and I've investigated it before, but it's new again, is the aroma.
Yep, I knew it. I was gonna go scents matter.
Oh my gosh, scents.
I just changed out my scent.
Right, smell sense with your nose here. Olfactory things matter. Oh my gosh, I'm just all about it. And I'm reading this book on essential oils, and of course, everybody knows everything there is to know about essential oils, and I'm reading it like a third grader going, of course, why didn't I think about that? I never put that thought together. That makes so much sense.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that's so good. I know scents really matter. And I just recently switched out the scent. I had a seasonal kind of something. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Apple pie or cinnamon, what I mean?
Okay, so I do ginger and cloves.
Yeah,
at the Christmas holidays. In fact,
I love those.
My favorite cookie is a gingerbread cookie.
Mm.
I'm just all about gingerbread. I've always loved it as an adult.
You're making me hungry for one right now.
I never ate it as a kid. So what happened was I always used to make traditional, sugar cookies when my kids were still with us in the house. And then one day I thought, I'm gonna make these gingerbread cookies. And I made, it was a challenge. Somebody challenged me to make a gingerbread house, those houses. I did that, and I never looked back. And now when my kids are coming over for Christmas, they're like, did you make sugar cookies or gingerbread cookies? And I'm like, I made gingerbread cookies.
That's awesome. Awesome. That and molasses, those are big. And I actually didn't have any over the holiday season. So after my January fast, I might have to just see if I can pull out that recipe. That sounds really delicious. Yeah. But
so your aroma and your scent.
The aroma and the scent, it's important. So what you visualize, and especially first thing in the morning, what do you have your environment, and especially your morning routine, and it's not all about the morning, it's during the day too, but there's something that is precious and dear to your morning. And there's so much evidence about setting your morning routine, having morning devotions, morning prayers, morning meditation, however you want to say it, do things in the morning. It's your first fruit. It's your celebration to God of what this day is going to be like. This is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Well, if you say that in the morning, your day is going to be better. If you decide and you set your intention in the morning. So what you look at is important. What you're smelling is important. And this is funny. It's like, why well, of course they have oregano, but I want a scent that just smells like an Italian restaurant. I want the garlic and the, like, I want to walk in the afternoon, like, coming up to dinner time. I'm like, I want to walk into the room and have it smell like someone is cooking for me, instead of me searching through like, oh, what am I going to try to make now?
And then for some of us, we don't need that because we don't need any more food lures.
Oh, yeah.
But my big aha too was, the scent that I am diffusing, or that I am, a couple things. It needs to change with the seasons, or my mood, okay, or my purpose.
Yeah, that's
It
good.
needs to not be chemical. So it needs to be natural.
I know. I hate chemically smelling.
I cannot stand perfume for that reason. Fragrance that women put on, and fragrance in products. I have a real beef about that. If you know me well,
it's got to not smell chemically. I don't mind it if it's nice and natural smelling, but do not. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we could get off on a whole nother thing about that.
Let's just,
but anyway, so natural is not going to be made in the laboratory. Natural is going to be made by God, and somebody extracted or distilled it. Okay. So that's an essential oil, that those types of things. And you have to be careful nowadays, because they'll call them essential oils and they're not. There's like this much, and then there's a lot of created essential oil, so to speak. But anyway, just being aware of colors and smells and surfaces is another thing. What's hard and angular.
Yes. I'm a very tactile person.
I'm a very tactile person too. Yeah. In fact, I've been known to go up to flocked wallpaper and just put my hand on it like this.
I'm a toucher too, Donna. This is why we get around so well. And I love wood, natural wood. And I've been known to there's actually a picture of me, a famous, quote unquote, famous picture of me. I just had to lay down on this amazingly beautiful table. I just laid on the table and took a picture like this. And it became the focal point for the flagship article for Megamorphosis magazine. And it's out on the internet. And that picture is like, oh, that's me just loving on wood, because I love wood. So I'm a touchy person too. But in relation to legacy and longevity, we're talking about these kinds of things because it's the daily things. It's how you live your life. It's the lifestyle that will get you to longevity. And the decisions that you make and the habits that you put in place do matter. And so years ago, probably, I think in 2019, I could not imagine my world without flavored coffee creamers. Like, I was the coffee creamer queen. I had a selection in my refrigerator to choose from every day. And then I went on this eating plan, and they're like, no, you can't have coffee creamers. I'm like, yeah. I'm totally over it. I don't even want them now. In fact, I use flavored stevia. And this morning I actually just put cinnamon in my coffee, and I put
love cinnamon in my coffee.
Like just a cinnamon. Yeah, a stevia. So you can change your habits. You can change your taste.
Yes.
You can live without the thing that is bad for you that you think you're so attached to. So
let me put it another way for us. You can actually overcome the Babylon system. That is directly tied to evil and someone who wants to kill you. You do enough research and you put it in black and white like that, you'll start getting natural really fast. Yeah. Sugar, processed foods. I mean, they literally hide sugars and artificial sweeteners in foods that it's not like something that you would ever even need it in, but it's because of the addictive quality, because of the neurotoxicity that makes you more pliable and you receive suggestions better. I mean, there is so much nefarious stuff in food. And sugar in particular. And they've used sugar against the human population for a long time. When I say they, I mean people who want to make slave labor out of humans. Yeah. It's, and
And in order for us to live out the destiny that God has called us to do, to make the impact that we can make in our lives and with our business, building the kingdom, we have to have that longevity. We have to pay attention and do it now. You can't wait until you're 80 to prepare for 80. No, you have to do it now.
And you can do a little thing right now. You can
Exactly.
do a thing this
Literally.
hour.
Just set if you're not used to getting up or moving every 20 minutes, just do some stuff, like get up, stand up, do some whatever, drink your water. There's just some little things that you can do every day before you jump into, like, now I'm researching metformin and MNN and do some really cool supplements to add to my regimen to really reverse aging, to, prevent stuff, to get purging stuff out of my body. I'm getting into some things that are probably beyond just the normal whatever.
Yeah.
But there are normal whatevers that you need to start with.
Yeah. And at some point we need to start talking about them with people so that you can do some research, you can get connected. So I want to kind of land the plane here because we've been.
You're right.
But thank you, audience. If you're like, wow, these girls are on a rabbit trail here. Yes, we are. Because
that's not a rabbit trail.
Bralynn and I have been talking about this being important, and we're starting to expand into this. If you're interested in this and want to maybe connect with us, we're going to do some stuff this year.
We are. We're taking it.
And so if you're looking for that community, we are too. And so stay tuned and put in the comments that your interest. Visit our websites. dwellhouse.net is mine, and BralynnNewby.com is Bralynn's, and spiritcenterbusiness.com. So thanks, you guys, for letting us scratch the surface of a great many topics today. And we bless you. We bless you from the inside of you out, because on the inside of you is the kingdom of God.
Yeah, that is a great way to put it. Exactly. And speaking of inside of you, they have done research that shows that our DNA, literally, when they match it up to Hebrew letters, has the name of God written into it millions of times. Just saying. He designed you and he wrote his name in you.
And he knows you.
Yeah.
And we are getting to know him.
Yep.
And so many are doing that. Okay.
I am so excited for this year. This year is going to be off the charts. Thank you, Donna. Thank you this is almost going to be a series, because we're going to be starting to talk about longevity and legacy a lot.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Until next time, take it to the nth degree. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.